Oh, this is some kazoos I play for the homemade kazoos. I sort of don't, it's just superstitious, I guess, but I don't like going underneath. I sort of don't believe in it much, that's all. I love the man-made things, so I push my trolley around it, but I don't go underneath this thing either. I go around the outside of that. I don't really. Yeah, that's my mum and dad. Anyway, that in front of my door. Yeah, that's Dad. They come. I think they're coming home from bowls or something because Dad's wearing his safari suit and.
Is that the only photo you've got on it?
Yeah, really. My dad would go to work pretty early. My mum would get up in a dressing gown. Right, Trevor, you've got to get ready for thing. And they were very disciplined and very had to look nice. And so, she'd sit there and she'd iron my clothes, and then I'd sit there and then she'd blow dry my hair. I'd sit in a little seat and kind of squeeze my pimples, and I'd go out and I'd be like a dog. You know, he met my mum at a town hall dance, and then but there wasn't many people coming back to our house, and it was kind of, they'd argue at night, and I could see that my mum was really lonely, she'd say, I'm going to divorce my dad, and then she didn't, and I felt really trapped. And so that was the time when I just used to take off and want to be by myself and do art, and I didn't want to get involved with all their stuff at home, so I didn't stay at home very much, but I'd come home late at night, and then my mum would still cook a meal, and then I don't know, I really loved the fact that they were married for so long, and it was a stable, beautiful house, and I'm actually starting to incorporate that back into my life now that they're both dead, but at the time, it was quite intimidating. I really admired what they'd done, and they were really pioneers. I eventually got accepted into art school at Newcastle, and I went up there, and I was really excited, and it was kind of the first time I thought it was amazing. I lived off campus in this cheap little guest house thing. There was a guy there, Jim, and I said, can you come up and just document me from the time I get up from the thing? I just want someone documenting me. And he did these great, big, beautiful black and white photos, and he sort of didn't tell me and just pushed in this door and came in, and I was in this big double-story guest house, and I just slept on a mattress. So I was always doing art, but I didn't do art. I sort of was finding stuff and making art. Like I used to do a thing with big bits of butcher's paper, and I'd hang them on the wall, and I'd get bits of charcoal and things. It was funny, I tried so hard to get to art school over time, and I never got in, never got in, never got in. And by the time I got there, like I was 26, and I was actually changing amazingly. And I felt really selfish in a way, because I got there, and my parents were quite poor, and they didn't really understand. Like, for them, university was like, they actually come to university twice, and said, they walked out on me. I remember they walking out at me at the art school, because they said, my dad said, come on Phil, let's get out of here, he's trying to make us look stupid. And then from there I hit the road. I didn't want to go back home, and I just wanted to know God a bit, and then I took off, and that's what sort of led me right back to Darwin. I picked up rubbish a lot, and I was getting on the news on the ABC here, and people would ring up. There's a guy on the side of the road, and he's picking up all the rubbish. And my first article was about 2007, and I decided to stay in Darwin. And I just used to do piles of rubbish, and I used to put things on the top. This is before I did sculptures. And people were photographing me, and I got a centre page spread in the NT News about a guy who walked up and did things, and I won 2 Pride of Australia medals. I won one for the environment, and then I won one for peace. I wanna be real about the world sometimes, and I know my heart, and I'm not blind. I wanna help people as they live their life. I wanna be real about the world sometimes, and I know my life, and I'm not blind. Help out people as they live their life. time goes by. I wanna love and sing and live my life and give my heart like a satellite and care about people as I walk along and help everyone just live and belong. I wanna be real about the world sometimes, and I know my life and I'm not blind. Give my heart, give my life with love inside. People in the old days didn't used to leave their money on the beach. They used to take their money into their surf togs and go swimming, okay? And then my dad used to do what's called beach combing, and the tide would go out and he used to walk for miles and miles and miles along the beach, and you found heaps of coins, you found pennies and all those things from years and years ago, because people used to actually take their money and their wallet and everything into their togs onto the beach. They didn't used to leave it on the beach. And so then you'd find wallets, you'd find things, you'd find stuff, and it was great. Flotsam and Jetsam it used to be called. And then you'd find, and that was, I used to walk with my mum and dad, and it was the most beautiful walking with your mum and dad. It was the breeze had come in, it was the sun, you were walking barefoot, your mum's sitting there in this funny looking one-piece bikini, your dad's there. It's just this beautiful experience of walking between your mum and dad on the edge of the earth, on the edge of the ocean, picking up these things. That's beautiful to me. Like I could walk for hours and hours and hours on the edge of the curb somewhere, recreating that beautiful time of just picking up free things and making free things and finding free things, because I guess it takes me right back to there, just the beautiful experience of freedom and wonder and love, you know, with your parents.